Get a cup, get a cup, get a cup. Hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone, to another video for Fresh Slim. And today, we're looking at cartoon episodes banned for controversial reasons by Visual Venture. Now, I know there have been a lot of cartoons that have been banned throughout the years. I think Ren and Stimpy got banned. I mean, valid, because they're absolutely insane, so I could 100% see why it was. But with that being said, the original link in the description. Go subscribe to Visual Venture if you're new, subscribe as well. Without any further ado, let's begin.
What happens when a cartoon causes panic, outrage, or even medical emergencies? It gets banned.
Medical
Today, we'll look at
emergencies?
cartoon episodes banned for being too controversial.
How the frig would one cause medical emergencies unless it's like an epileptic thing?
My goal this year is to give you guys double the amount of videos that I upload for you guys, but it's actually turning out to be a more daunting task than I realized.
Don't burn yourself out. It's not worth it.
Because, you know, we're not some content farm or anything, but I am not going to give up, and it would really help if you subscribe so you do not miss any of our new videos. And I promise to do my best for you guys.
Look, guys, I'm like an anglerfish. Think I can get my ball in my mouth?
I'm Visual Venture, and as always, you guys are awesome. Peppa Pig. In 2004, Peppa Pig released an episode called Mr. Skinny Legs. Kids loved it, but when parents saw it, they panicked because that episode...
What is it, like some kind of like health thing where it's pushing out the idea of you gotta be skinny or anorexia or something?
told kids to do something that could be deadly. And this wasn't a small issue. Peppa Pig was influencing millions of children. Its official channel has over 40 million subscribers.
Oh, dang, that's a lot.
It also has 30 billion views across
31 billion. Yo.
8,000 videos. So you can imagine how many kids watch it. Peppa Pig was made for preschoolers, and these kids are still learning how the world works. That means kids don't just watch Peppa, they copy her. So what dangerous lesson did this episode teach? In this episode, George finds a spider in the bathroom. Instead of running away, he picks it up.
Like they banned it because of like teaching kids to not be afraid of spiders or something?
George likes the spider. The spider likes George.
George shows the spider to Peppa, but when she sees it, she panics.
You have to help me with the tea party.
Eventually, Daddy Pig comes to calm Peppa down. He calmly explains that spiders are very, very small and can't hurt you.
Well, that's a blatant lie. Just go to Australia. They definitely can hurt you. Like, obviously, there's certain spiders that can't. House spiders, the average ones that you'd find in your house, except for, I guess depends where you live. There's a large variety that won't hurt you. But yeah, certain ones can. But if you're teaching kids that none of them can hurt them, that I can see is actually, I can see why that's banned.
So instead of getting rid of the spider, he encourages Peppa to befriend it. By
Eat
the
it.
end of the episode, Peppa is about to have a tea party with the spider.
Mummy, Daddy, sit down. We are all going to have tea with Mr. Skinny Legs.
The message is straightforward. Kids shouldn't be scared of spiders because spiders are harmless. For most of the world, it was a reasonable lesson, but in Australia...
I knew it. But also certain areas, like, I guess it all depends where you live, really. But that's, you know your audience is global, so you gotta be careful.
It was unacceptable because Australian spiders aren't just scary, they're deadly. Australia reports over 2,000 serious spider incidents every year. Some of the world's most poisonous spiders live there. One bite from the wrong one can end a person in minutes.
No wonder why they send people there. Didn't they used to send criminals there or something? And that's how Australia was founded? Like, no wonder why you send people there. No one in their right mind would voluntarily want to live there.
Telling kids to treat spiders like friends in this case was a very bad idea. Luckily, parents in Australia noticed the episode quickly. They went on a campaign to get it banned. Australia's public broadcasters, ABC and Nick Jr., were the first to ban the cartoon. They said it sent the inappropriate message that spiders are friendly and not to be feared. But they didn't stop there. Another Peppa Pig episode featuring the same spider character was also banned in Australia. It became an unofficial policy. No spider-friendly messages on Australian TV. If you know this next cartoon...
Fair enough, though, right? They should also have no jellyfish-friendly messages and so on and so forth. But it makes 100% sense why they would do that.
You'd be surprised that it is surprisingly vulgar for what it's supposed to be. Dexter's Laboratory. Dexter's Laboratory was
Really?
one of Cartoon Network's biggest shows, but people don't
I have seen a couple clips from Dexter's Lab which were a little bit questionable.
know that one episode was loaded with so much profanity that it had to be buried.
Well, the one that I saw wasn't profanity. It was like, just like, I don't know if it was innuendos or whatnot, but it just seemed a bit off.
Shocking because the concept of the show was so innocent. Dexter's Laboratory was about Dexter, a boy genius with a secret lab under his bedroom. But one person made his life a living hell. His loud,
Mindy?
annoying sister, Dee Dee. The series
Oh, it's Dee Dee. Why was I thinking it was Mindy? Who the frick's Mindy?
started in 1995, but just 2 years later, in 1997, they created the most offensive episode ever. The episode was titled Rude Removal, and as soon as you see the title card, you'll know there's a problem. Dee Dee flips the middle finger, and Dexter moons the camera. The story wasn't any better. Dexter is fed up with Dee Dee's rude behavior, so he builds a machine to remove her behavior literally. He's going
Like a lobotomy? I mean, that kind of stuff's been around for a long time.
to zap the rudeness out of her.
This machine has the ability to remove and contain the most annoying personality trait known to man. Rudeness.
But Dee Dee refuses to cooperate.
Oh yeah? You're the rude one, brother.
Dexter and Dee Dee fight and fall inside the machine together. That's when it goes from bad to worse. The machine malfunctions.
Spoilers.
Instead of removing their bad behavior, the machine duplicates them. Now there's a polite Dexter and a polite Dee Dee. And there's a rude Dexter and a rude Dee Dee. And when I say rude, I mean vulgar.
Let up, Ollie. Beats the crap out of me. Why, you're in Dexter's laboratory.
Were they actually swearing in it, though? Or, like, did you censor that, or... I find it, because I don't know, I find it hard to believe that they'd be swearing in the kids show. Like, how would that be allowed through the censors?
Silly.
The rude versions of Dexter and Dee Dee drop the F word over and over again.
Oh dear.
The episode was finished and ready to air on TV. The last step was Cartoon Network's approval.
Yeah, like, how did they approve that?
Executives watched the final cut and they were horrified. They banned the episode on the spot. They didn't even show it to a test audience. They just
I think that idea is great. Of having, like, the good and the bad. Could they censor it themselves by adding in a bleep sound? Or could they just change the word out to make it like it's like a rude but family-friendly type of rude? So instead of the F word, you say, like, frig or something like that? They should have done that, because that's a great idea for an episode.
pulled it. Rude Removal never aired on TV, but animators mentioned it in interviews, but they had no footage to back up their claims. For years, fans assumed Rude Removal was just a rumor. Then in 2013, Cartoon Network broke the silence. They confirmed the episode was real, and they were going to put it online. Even after the announcement, some fans refused to believe it. They left comments like, "It doesn't exist. Prepare to be disappointed." When are you people gonna realize that
They put it online? That's pretty wild. I mean, good for them, I guess.
Rude Removal doesn't exist? But Cartoon Network wasn't bluffing. They uploaded the full episode online through Adult Swim. It was raw and uncensored, exactly as it was made in 1997.
Hey, watch where you're throwing that. Let's go.
The video went viral, and today you can find Rude Removal with a quick search on Google. Up next is a cartoon that played too much with the devil. Darkwing Duck. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, America was in the middle of something called the Satanic Panic. At the time, people believed that cults were trying to recruit and harm kids. One of the biggest fears was that TV shows were filled with hidden messages designed to lure children into the occult. And
Well, I mean, whether you believe it works or not, there's definitely kind of like a push towards that nowadays. Like, you just, like, you go on Reddit, there's like tons, there's a bunch of like witch subreddits and stuff like that, so that is, it kind of shows how big it is now. But I highly doubt a kid's show would be freaking doing anything like that.
And right in the middle of that satanic panic, Disney released a cartoon where a child made a deal with the devil. It went as badly as you'd expect. The controversial episode aired in October 1992 on the Darkwing Duck TV show. Darkwing Duck followed Drake Mallard, a mild-mannered duck by day. But at night, he became a superhero called Darkwing. Each episode showed him fighting criminals while trying to raise his daughter, Gosselin. But one episode went in a direction no one expected. It was titled Hot Spells. In the story, Gosselin visits a magic school. Almost immediately, she was bullied by the mean kids at school. Upset and alone, she wanders through the halls. That's when she meets the school janitor. But this isn't a normal janitor. For starters, he had a strange name.
Bring Yorick in, will you? The name's BLZ, Chief Custodian.
His name is BLZ for Beelzebub. Now, Beelzebub
It's pretty wild having a kid show.
isn't a made-up cartoon character. He's very real. In the Bible, he's Prince of Devils. In many other religions, Beelzebub is one of the 7 princes of hell. That means he's a very powerful and dangerous demon. So in this cartoon, the janitor is Beelzebub in disguise. He realizes that Gosselin is struggling and offers to help. He leads her into a secret library.
God. You should not be teaching kids to follow. I think you should be banned because you're teaching kids to follow random men into like weird rooms. Even if there's nothing else gonna happen in this, I don't think you should teach, kids to just follow people into rooms without like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this does not seem good.
Filled with forbidden spell books, and he convinces her to cast a spell. Gosselin reads from one of the books and casts a dark spell. She feels powerful. She thinks she's becoming a real magician. But there's one thing Beelzebub hasn't told her. Using that dark spell means she's drawing power from him. Without realizing it, Gosselin just made a deal with the devil. Eventually, Beelzebub drops the disguise and reveals his true form.
Okay, where do you think your power came from, huh?
From there, the story gets more unsettling. Beelzebub tries to drag someone to hell. Darkwing tries to stop him. A lot happens, but in the end, they defeat Beelzebub. It was obviously a weird story, but somehow Disney approved it and it aired on TV.
This episode, it sounds like you're teaching kids not to deal with this kind of stuff, doesn't it? Like, if anything, it seems like this episode is teaching people not to do that.
The backlash was instant. The moment it aired, phone lines at ABC lit up. Parents were furious. They saw a little girl gaining power by making a deal with a demon. To them, the cartoon made it look like working with the devil had rewards. During the height of satanic panic, that
But they missed the part where you're trying to drag people to hell.
message was explosive. Many parents already believed TV was pushing kids toward the occult. Now they felt like they had proof. ABC panicked. Disney pulled the episode the very next day. They refused to rerun it, sell it, or stream it anywhere. The only copies that exist today are the ones people recorded on VHS the night it aired. This next cartoon has been banned for nearly 100 years.
Oh, it's a Mickey Mouse one, isn't it? One of these old, like, racist ones. I knew it!
Mickey Mouse.
I freaking knew
In
it.
the 1920s, Mickey Mouse cartoons followed the same pattern.
They were brutal back then, dude. I've seen some of these older ones. Oh my gosh.
Mickey got into trouble. He found a way out. Everything ended on a happy note. That formula made Mickey Mouse a hit from the late 1920s into the early 1930s.
I do love the old style of the way they drew them, though.
Then Disney made a mistake. They broke the pattern, and what they created was so disturbing that theaters refused to show it. It became one of the first cartoons ever banned. The controversial cartoon came out in 1933. It was titled The Mad Doctor.
It's honestly probably, I don't even know what's going to happen here, but it's probably not that bad. We're talking the 1930s. Hey, sweetheart, look at those ankles. Like, you're talking about back then, you couldn't really do that much, and they were a lot more strict with what could be shown. So I would 100% see that this is probably not going to be anything compared to the other few.
The cartoon begins with Mickey waking up to strange noises. His dog Pluto is crying because he's being kidnapped by a hooded figure. The kidnapper drags the dog through the woods. It's a scary scene with wind, thunder, and lightning. Pluto is taken into a dark castle. Inside, the hooded figure removes his cloak. It's the Mad Doctor, a crazy scientist obsessed with animal experiments. And he kidnapped Pluto for his next experiment. The doctor plans to cut off Pluto's head.
We're going to cut off your... His mad experiment is just neutering the dog.
Sew it onto it.
We're gonna cut off your balls.
A chicken's body and see if the creature can lay eggs that hatch into puppies.
He's making a homunculus.
Yeah, that's the actual plot of a Mickey Mouse cartoon. In the lab, Pluto and a chicken are strapped to operating tables. The experiment is about to begin. Meanwhile, Mickey races through the castle to rescue his dog, but it's a trap. The Mad Doctor captures Mickey and ties him down. Then he lowers a massive buzzsaw toward Mickey's body. He wants to chop Mickey in half. Mickey can't break free. Then just before it's too late, Mickey wakes up. It was all a dream. Mickey is in his bedroom and Pluto is safe. The dog runs into Mickey's arms.
See, that's not that bad at all compared to the other ones. That's crazy.
So why on earth did Disney make such a terrifying cartoon?
It's not even that bad, but back then people were really, I guess, sensitized?
Well, they said it was supposed to be a tribute to classic horror movies like Frankenstein. But viewers didn't care about the tribute. They only cared about how disturbing it felt. Back in the early 1930s, most people didn't have TV sets at home. So cartoons like Mickey Mouse were shown in theaters. Theaters in the US were the first to see The Mad Doctor, and they disliked it so much that many flat out refused to play it. The theaters said it looked too scary for kids. Some other countries felt the same. In the
As freaking, y'all need to grow a pair. Y'all need to take the pair that was cut off the dog and put it on yourself.
UK, the Board of Film Censors banned it. Then Germany banned it too. Clearly people...
Germany in the 1930s banned it? They did that and then like 6 years later decided to declare war? That's inappropriate. I don't want my kids seeing that. The Jews! That's crazy that happened.
didn't love this cartoon. After that, The Mad Doctor disappeared. Disney put it aside and stopped promoting it. But it didn't disappear forever. For some reason, folks at Disney didn't set up the copyright for The Mad Doctor properly, and that copyright error allowed it to slip into the public domain. That's why today you can find The Mad Doctor on YouTube. It's one of the few Mickey cartoons you can legally watch for free. This next cartoon...
I reacted. I remember when one of the other Mickey Mouse cartoons came in public domain. It was like Steamboat Mickey, I think. And I reacted to it. And the video got freaking claimed. And the thing that gets me was that, not that it was claimed, but it's in public domain. So they shouldn't have been able to claim it. But they did. So that whatever.
Was so disturbing, it never even made it to the screen. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2003. If you grew up in the 2000s, you probably watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The show followed 4 turtle brothers who fight crime. It was action-packed and perfect for kids, but in 2005, one episode pushed the show into nightmare territory. It was titled Insane in the Membrane, and it centered around one character, Baxter Stockman. Baxter started out as a genius scientist, but he worked for Shredder, the Turtles' main enemy. Every time Baxter failed, Shredder punished him with surgery. Each failure cost him a part of his body.
That's pretty crazy. I don't think it's too bad.
By the time this episode begins, Baxter isn't even human. He's just a brain and a spine floating inside a glass tank. But Baxter refuses
That's crazy.
to give up. He wants to rebuild his body. However, a friend warns him about the dangers. Rebuilding a body from scratch could damage his mind. Baxter doesn't care. He's a genius, and he finds a way to clone a new version of himself. And at first, it works perfectly. He can walk, he can speak, he feels human again. Then his new body starts to fall apart, literally.
Nah. I want to see, like, they start, like, doing this, like, the skin just comes off with his hand.
Skin, his fingers, and his face begin to disintegrate. As his body decays, so does his mind.
This experiment is a catastrophe!
By the end of the episode, Baxter has completely lost his mind. It no longer feels like a kid's cartoon. It feels more like a psychological horror. The Ninja Turtles cartoon was rated TV Y7.
For 7-year-olds? Is that what that means? Yeah, I think maybe for teens, not 7-year-olds. You know, if you're really young, that weird and not even directly horror, but just weird stuff like that can really mess with your head. I'm speaking from experience.
That means the show is designed for kids over age 7. This episode went far beyond that rating. It showed a mental breakdown and emotional torment. It was extreme even for adults. Fox executives watched the final cut before it aired. They were reportedly horrified. They said there was no way they could air the episode, and that was it. The Insane in the Membrane episode vanished. But not completely. It didn't air in the United States, but a few months later, it quietly aired in the UK. Fans recorded the episode on VHS tapes and
How were their reaction? Was it horrible too?
uploaded it onto the internet. That's how it began to spread. Over time, Insane in the Membrane became a legend. It was a banned Ninja Turtles episode that most fans couldn't find. Nearly a decade later, in August 2015, Nicktoons finally aired it in the US. This was its first official broadcast.
I would just change the age rating, honestly. Like, I think it's fine, but it's definitely should be for like an older audience, like in the teens, like 13 plus. Not for 7-year-olds.
But the cartoon in our next chapter aired before it got banned, and it triggered one of the messiest controversies in kids' TV. Tiny Toon Adventures.
I am not familiar with this.
The next episode on this list is banned everywhere on Earth. That's how bad it is. Pokemon.
Really? Also, we've skipped a couple episodes. We're moving right to the end here.
Cartoons aren't supposed to send kids to the emergency room.
Oh, this is an epilepsy one. I remember hearing about this.
But in 1997, one episode of Pokemon did exactly that. To understand how that happened, you need to know the characters on the show. I mean, I assume you know them already, but just in case. The series followed a boy named Ash Ketchum. He traveled the world catching magical creatures called Pokemon. His favorite was Pikachu. Pikachu was like a yellow mouse that could generate bursts of electricity. In almost every episode, Pikachu battled other Pokemon as they traveled. And during one of those battles, the problem happened. The episode was titled Electric Soldier Porygon. It was first aired in Japan in December 1997. In the episode, Ash and his friends...
If this is the one I'm thinking of, right, it is like from an epilepsy. So back then, did they know about it? Like, that lights, when flashing stuff would trigger it?
meet a strange Pokemon named Porygon. It's a creature made entirely of data. Eventually, Ash and his friends bump into the bad guys on the show, Team Rocket.
Team Rocket! The Pokemon Center is in panic because of you guys. Stop it right now!
They get into a fight, and during the battle, Pikachu releases an electric blast. That moment created a crisis for viewers.
Yeah, there it is, the flashing.
To animate Pikachu's power, the studio
If you are epileptic sensitive, don't watch this.
used bright red and blue flashing lights. Lights flickered rapidly, faster than the eye could handle. This is a scene with the flashing removed.
Okay, good, didn't even show it.
The scene lasted just a few seconds, but the effects were instant.
Is there a certain, like, does that combination trigger epilepsy more than other color combinations?
Across Japan, kids watching the episode began collapsing. Some had seizures, some passed out, others struggled to breathe. Paramedics raced from home to home. Hospitals couldn't keep up. The press called it Pokemon shock. By the end of the night, 685 kids were hospitalized, all because of one scene in a cartoon. Pokemon was pulled from TV immediately. The show didn't return for 4 months. Even the government got involved. Japan introduced new rules restricting flashing lights in cartoons. Electric Soldier Porygon was banned worldwide. It never officially aired anywhere again.
So I wondered, like, back then, because that is back in the 90s, so was that like the first time something like this had happened? Is it specifically that color combination that was the issue? Because I think, at least from my understanding, it's just like any flashing.
This episode holds the Guinness World Record for most seizures caused by a TV broadcast. It even became a pop culture reference. The real event was tragic for hundreds of viewers. That Pokemon episode was the most dangerous cartoon ever broadcast.
Anyway, I'm gonna end here. Hopefully you guys liked it. Yeah, that last one's pretty wild. Obviously not intentional. The other ones in here were all intentional. I think a lot of them were actually fine, but yeah, for the targeted audience, it's not fine for. But yeah, hope you guys like this. Go subscribe to Visual Venture if you're new, subscribe as well. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next time.